towards the grey earth of severed bird wings. I feel like I'm casting a spell. I don't know what's happening. Should I carry on? What's going to happen if I do?
I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop, no.
Well, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, then hi, welcome. My name is Doe, darling. Or if you've been watching me for a while now, then thanks for sticking around. So in today's video, we are going to unbox a Black Sabbath, and we're going to deep dive into the album. I originally bought this, I think, sometime last year, and I put it aside and I didn't open it because I planned to do a video on it. And I think it was actually for National Album Day, and the theme was something like debut albums, and of course Black Sabbath is Black Sabbath's debut album, and then I completely forgot about it. I never made the video, I forgot to open it, it's just been sat there for so long, and it wasn't until just the other day, which was, the 13th of February, that I was reminded about this album, because it actually came out 53 years ago. It was the 13th of February 1970. Can you believe this album is 53 years old? This album is damn old, but it's also freaking incredible. So let's get unboxing. Okay, so here is the box. I actually bought this from Off the Beaten Tracks, which is an awesome record store. I did a video about it a while ago. I will link it up there. No, it is not sponsored. I just like this record store. So let's bust her open. Okay, here we go. It's been so long. Literally, I think it was August I bought this. Here we go, here we go. Let's get rid of all the pack. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, firstly, oh my gosh. Can we just take a moment? They've actually gave me extra hype sticker. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, on one of their own. Look. There's their little logo. Oh my... I am so happy. Yes, it was National Album Day, sponsored by BBC Sounds, and there you can see it says it was debut albums. Yes, I know it's a while ago. I'm late to the party. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And yeah, I got a little Off the Beaten Tracks one. I think that will have to go on my case back there. And here's all the details of the record store. Take a screenshot if you want. Oh, they left me a message. Thanks for your order. We enjoyed your video. I mean, it was like half a year ago, but I can't believe it's took me this long to open it. Oh my gosh, I'm a little embarrassed, but thank you so much. And they must have seen the video and know that I loved the freaking hype stickers and gave me extra hype stickers. And I'm seeing another hype sticker on the album itself, and I'm like, hyperventilating. Wow. Okay, the album itself, what we came to see. This is what we came for. Oh my gosh, this is such an iconic album. Look at that. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. So can I just say, today, as I was getting ready this morning, I was listening to this album, and that's what kind of inspired this look. So... I'm giving everything. I'm giving you album hauls, album reviews, makeup looks. Like, what more do you want in a video? So this is how this appeared, although I feel like I look like Edward Scissorhands. But that's okay, because Edward is cool. It wouldn't be the first time I've dressed up as Edward Scissorhands. Back to the album. The first thing we have to talk about is that hype sticker. We have the National Album one there. And then we have this big boy here. And it says, Black Sabbath, the self-titled debut album which instigated the heavy metal genre. Purple and black splatter vinyl limited edition. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to open. And there we go, perfectly preserved. And here is the album. Now, the first time I remember listening to this, I must have been like 18, 19, 20. It was so long ago. And you know, I loved it, and I still love it today. And you know, I never had a copy of it, so I'm grateful to have it on vinyl now. As we take a look at the front cover, we can see this like ghostly, witchy, haunting, creepy figure just stood in the middle holding this cloak, and it always kind of gave me Mona Lisa vibes. I think it's just the colorization and like the way the hair, you know, is parted in the middle. I don't know, kind of follows you around the room as well. So that's what I always thought. But it is a very iconic, you know, album art, and it's very creepy. And, you know, I don't know if it was like shot kind of infrared or if the levels have been pushed, but it's been very like distorted, and it's really, yeah, it's just really creepy. It's a really creepy album cover. And as soon as I see the front cover, I'm like, what is that stands before me? I can't sing. I'm no Ozzy Osbourne. But the first song from the album, Black Sabbath, instantly comes into my head. You know, I'm hearing the rain, the tolling of the bells. It's got a very horror feel. And, you know, it's so creepy. And Ozzy's lyrics that just come in, just, so good. You know, this is what I think the figure, you know, it represents from that song, you know, the figure in black. And the song was written about, you know, after waking from a dream and seeing a black figure in the corner of the room. And yeah, it's a creepy, creepy song. So let's take a look at the back and see what songs are on here. So we have side 1, Black Sabbath. Then we have The Wizard, Behind the Wall of Sleep, and n.i.b. And then on side 2 we have Evil Woman, Don't Play Your Games With Me, Sleeping Village, and Warning. So we don't have Wicked World on this version. I think it's the American version, I'm not sure. I'm kind of used to hearing it with an extra track on the bottom. But yes, let's look inside. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Whew! Black Sabbath. And we have the upside down cross, which I heard they were not happy about. Having the upside down cross, they didn't want to be accused of Satanism, but then again, who isn't accused of Satanism these days? Yeah. So inside it says, still falls the rain. The veils of darkness shroud the blackened trees, which contorted by some unseen violence, shed their tired leaves and bend their boughs towards the grey earth of severed bird wings. I feel like I'm reading or casting a spell. I don't know what's happening. Should I carry on? What's going to happen if I do? Among the grasses, poppies bleed before a gesticulating death.
2,000 years later.
The long black night begins, yet still by the lake a young girl waits unseeing. She believes herself unseen. She smiles faintly at the distant tolling bell and the still falling rain. And that's how the album starts. We hear the rain, we hear the tolling of the bell. Yes, okay. Let's take a look at the vinyl itself. I'm excited. It looks good. It looks really good. Why am I whispering? I don't know. Oh my gosh. And there is the colorway on the vinyl. As you can see, it's gorgeous purple and black. Ah, I love it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to finally have a copy because it's an album, like I said, that I really love. There is no skips on this album. Like, you just put it on and listen to it all the way through and just enjoy. It is great. I absolutely love it. I think the first song that I heard was obviously n.i.b. That is my favorite. Like, I'm going to feel... I'm going to feel. Oh yeah. Like, if you don't sing the music, like if you're not singing the whole thing, then I was gonna say we can't be friends, but I'm not that petty. We can be friends, but I think you should start singing. about Black Sabbath is they have a very distinctive sound. And you've got to think of the time when this album was out, what kind of music was out, what was happening in their lives and the world at that time, and it is really reflected in their music. You know, they were from the Birmingham area, they were like working class. Ozzy was into crime, you know. The guitarist, you know, he lost his fingers in a sheet metal factory accident, and he fashioned himself, you know, his own prosthetic fingers out of molten plastic, and he would, you know, loosen the guitar strings, so it really gave that distorted sound that no one else had, and it was just the circumstances that came about what created that sound. And now, one thing for those of you that don't know Black Sabbath and don't listen to Black Sabbath and just, you know, think it's just heavy metal, and maybe that's not your thing, you might be surprised, you know. In this album particularly, you can really hear their roots, which was blues, you know. And it might surprise you if I said, in this album, you will hear Ozzy Osbourne playing the harmonica, for example. But it's not like the sound that you would necessarily think. Oh, where is it? Where's my harmonica? Hold on. Okay. Actually, with this lipstick, maybe that's not a good idea. You have been spared this time from my harmonica playing. But like at the start of Wizard, he's like, if you've listened, you'll know what I'm trying to replicate there, but the sound is just like, you don't expect it. And that's the thing with this album. There's actually so many genres in one album, and sometimes even in just one song. They take you on a journey of different musical genres. We have rock, we have, you know, like the doom metal, we have the blues, we have the funk, we have the psychedelic rock. Like, there is a lot in here. It's such a mashup of all these sounds, and yeah, it's incredible. If I try to explain what Black Sabbath's sound was from this album, it's kind of difficult because, you know, it's very slow and heavy and just dark and gloomy and creepy and just haunting and spooky. But there's also like blues and rock and psychedelic, you know, this and funk. It's really funky as well. Some of the bass lines on here are just out of this world. The drumming, the guitar, Ozzy's voice, it's just so tight. It just works. I don't know what it is. It just all works. And like I said, there's not one song that I would skip on here. So I'm just going to quickly run through the songs and my thoughts. So Black Sabbath, one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. What a way to start an album. What a way to start your debut album as well. Like, it is awesome. And I think it's the use of the tritone, you know, the devil's interval. It gives it that really like horror vibes and unsettling vibes, and I just absolutely love it. And then we go straight into The Wizard, which another favorite of mine, and I heard that it was meant to be based on Lord of the Rings, like Gandalf, and you know, I feel like there was quite a lot of like Lord of the Rings inspired songs at that time, you know, in the 70s and stuff. But I also heard it was about their dealer, which when you listen to the lyrics kind of makes sense as well. So, you know, but you can interpret it anyway. That's the great thing with music. And then we go to the song Behind the Wall Asleep. That to me is a song about, you know, that kind of like strange period where you're just on the edge of sleep or on coming out of sleep, and it's like the plane between sleep and awake and what can happen in between there is, yeah. And then obviously we go to n.i.b. Now, I never used to know what n.i.b. stood for. And then I found out it was, you know, because one of their beards looked like a pen nib, and so they just called the track Nib, and then it kind of just stuck, and then they made it into n.i.b. because I always wondered. But that song, it's like one of my all-time favourite songs just in general. And it's a song about, you know, the devil, Lucifer, from his point of view, falling in love with a woman, like a human, and I don't know what it is about it, but Ozzy's vocals are just perfect. You know, his vocal style is just so unique and it just suits this so well. The bass riff, the guitar is perfect. It's just everything about it. It kind of gives me the feel of Cream. Like, the difference between Black Sabbath and Cream is like Black Sabbath is like Cream's evil brother. You know what I mean? I think it's to do with the guitar sounds, you know, they're more distorted and heavy and it's just a feeling of doom. But yeah, they kind of remind me of each other a bit. And then on side 2 we have Evil Woman Don't Play Your Games With Me. I really like it. It is a cover by the band Crow, and I heard that they didn't want to do this cover, but they was like told they had to, like some kind of commercial, you know, song, and but I believe it didn't do very well. Even though they didn't want to do it, and even though it was a cover, I actually really like it. And I think it actually suits the album. It's a bit lighter, but it's catchy. It is actually catchy. Like, I find myself singing that one. The bass on it is almost like hypnotizing. Oh, I just absolutely love, like, every single member of this band is like killing it, like so awesome. Honestly, there's not a song that I don't like on here. And then on side 2 next we have Sleeping Village, and this one starts with like a mouth harp, and at first, like, I didn't have any idea, like, well, what is that instrument? But it is apparently a mouth harp, and it just sounds bizarre, and I love it. And, you know, listening to this album, you can certainly see, you know, bands after them that are definitely inspired from this. You can hear where the, you know, the ideas and inspiration came from this album. You know, I think it deserves it when people say this album instigated heavy metal, like this was the birth of heavy metal, this was the start. Like, I get it, I understand it. It's a really interesting album. A lot of it is instrumental. It's one of them, do I want to say it's a stoner album? But it's like one of them albums you can just put on and just have it going, and you can just, you know, sit back and just listen to it the whole way through. You know, you have those amazing guitar solos, you have this furious bass, you know, this drumming. It's just, you know, at points you feel like you're just listening into some kind of jam session, and all the album just goes with each other. It just flows like you're in a dream, because some parts of it are referencing previous songs. You can hear it, and it's all intertwined, and it's just amazing. And the last track is Warning, which, you know, is a song telling him, you know, to stay away from this woman, like, you're being warned. A great track as well. And I'm kind of, yeah, it doesn't have, what is it, Wicked World, which is actually a really good track as well, especially the lyrics on it. That really tells you, like, how they were feeling at the time, you know, the disenchantment with the world at the time, the environment they were growing up in, their thoughts and feelings of the world. You really have to think about the music at that time. You know, you got the hippie kind of vibes, and this was really a subversion of that. You know, this was really like, well, that's not our reality. And that's one thing I really love about listening to music from, you know, so long ago, 53 years ago. You know, you really get an insight into the times and what was happening and what people were feeling at the time. And they were able, you know, to create this music from that, which I just think is amazing. I feel like I've been holding this album up the whole time. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this album. Honestly, it is one of my all-time favorite albums just in general. Like I said, I can put this on and listen to it the whole way through. I have never got bored of it. I could listen to it so much. I literally listened to it twice today getting ready. Like, I just absolutely love it, and I'm just so happy I now have a copy. Yeah. Can't wait to hear it on the actual record player too. That's gonna be fun. Let me know in the comments, what do you think to this album? What do you think to Black Sabbath? Do you like this album? Let me know your thoughts. I love to read them. What's your favourite song from the album? Yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you did like this video and you want to see more, then make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell. That way you'll get a notification when I upload another video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!